I mean, I'm all in for it. I love the thought. I love the breakdowns. It's going to be a great night Thursday. So, all right. Well, the NBA playoffs, the play-in tournament's already kicked off, and we've already got right now the first round. And it's going to be interesting all the way through and through. But to join us and talk with us, played overseas, also a member of the New Orleans Hornets, joining us, Corsley Edwards on the show. All right. I'm going to be bluntly honest here, Corsley, is I love the playoffs more than anything else because it's a totally different environment. And you're watching a lot of these teams and their players, you want to get the best out of all of them. And they're ultimately their positions and their performances can really match and change that. But here's where I'm having a problem. And maybe you can help me to motivate me and enlighten me, because I don't feel the kind of motivation to be hyped up for these playoffs like I once was. I'm going to be honest, because to me, I think maybe it's because we're coming to this new age change, or maybe because there's just, the playoffs are a different breed, and I would expect some things, but I'm not going to highly expect it like that. But what should I really look forward to? Because to me, I'm watching the Stanley Cup playoffs and I'm like, man, that's electrifying. I love to see a lot of these hits. Like the NBA, I can see Boston, obviously the top team, OKC, SGA, and then there's Denver. So what should I expect for this, and what have you thought of the playoffs thus far?
Well, I love it. Me personally, man, the game has been entertaining. From the Charlotte game against Miami, that was a big, huge game. That was a great introduction for what's about to happen in these playoffs, man. And I look forward to it because this is the only time I really watch basketball, because it's just, everybody during the regular season getting on the wing and go.
Yeah.
So right now, you're gonna have to really have some structure right now as far as the NBA goes, and we got some good coaches in there to actually, run those positions, so it makes it more interesting.
Absolutely.
You got that San Antonio Spurs team. I always love my Denver Nuggets. Denver Nuggets has always got a place in my heart because I coached them. You know what I mean? I got a little bias to them. So, yeah, but that Wemby kid, he's trouble.
Oh, Victor Wembanyama, here's the thing. I mean, you're watching with what he does. He's just a defensive freak. And I think at the end of the day, didn't it feel like just the cards fell to them because the fact that they're a defensive-minded organization, they have been for years, and now having Victor Wembanyama there with a new coach, it just felt like, he just fits in well.
Exactly.
So
seems like a Tim Duncan and David Robinson era, and Wemby starting all over again.
So, Corsley, here's the thing. I was talking about this at the start of the program, is watching Golden State, and I've loved this run for as long as they've had. I love Steph Curry. I love Draymond Green, and I have so much respect for Steve Kerr. But I'll make the argument. I know it's hard to turn the page because of just how well they've dominated for years in this organization and throughout the NBA in the Western Conference. But I do believe, and sometimes this can happen in businesses, is that when you go on a long 10-year run of success, sometimes it is hard to pivot because lots of things have worked. Lots of things have succeeded. And so it's hard to keep the consistency for as long as it's been. Golden State, to me, there has to be a turn of the page moment in some ways, because I do believe Steph Curry is going to continue to play and contribute because he just is that guy that loves to shoot. He's the guy that loves to contribute any way he can. Draymond, defensively, dominant. But we also know, as time rolls on, sometimes you got to lessen the amount of the fouls and find a way to play the smart basketball. So I feel it's a time where you really have to revamp this organization. I mean, you had pods. They had Jordan Poole at one point. You had a lot of these guys, but something has to give to where you're building the youngsters. What do you outlook Golden State, what they need to do? Because I know this is a tough spot that they're in right now.
Well, I'm a little biased on that behalf as well, because Steph Curry changed the game. Everyone is trying to shoot like Steph. Everyone's trying to shoot like Chef. But what it reminds me of is the old from 94 to 97, the Bulls. When they added Dennis Rodman, and they turned the page. They just added one piece. And the only reason Golden State's not in it right now is because of Jimmy Butler. If Jimmy Butler was healthy, you're talking a whole nother Golden State team. And, they'll pick up something in the draft right now. But I don't think it'll ever change because of the way the game is played now. You don't have a big power center in the middle. You're throwing it down there, feeding them. Shaquille O'Neal turn around dunking on people. Everyone has to move off the dribble. So now you have a Jimmy Butler on the wing. You have a Steph Curry. You have a Pods. Also got to put in my guy, the point guard from Maryland. You know what I mean? The number one player ever to play. So you got to add all these people and these pieces. The youth isn't what's needed right now. I don't think the youth is what's needed right now. They need to have that veteran leadership so that way it makes the game more interesting. You're going to play with a VJ Edgecombe or a Tyrese Maxey, which I think in the next 5 years he'll be MVP. But that's coming from me. That's my choice. That's what I'm saying. But Golden State is not going to change. It's not going to change. You're always known for knockdown threes, and that's what they're going to always be known for. So if Pods is going to step up, Steph going to step up, Jimmy Butler's going to step up, come back healthy. They're going to be right back in the mix next year. That's what I feel. You know what I mean? But a lot of people see the game because it's moving so fast. They actually run a system where they make the extra pass. They make the extra pass look cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what San Antonio's doing right now. They're making the extra pass look cool. And those are the teams that win. So I don't think it's going to go anywhere. You just put a piece on the puzzle and to complete the puzzle.
No, absolutely. And I mean, I'm all for, I wouldn't want to completely tear it down, but I do know that we always know time always ticks, and sometimes it happens. But I mean, I still So you've played overseas, and I look at the NBA right now, and look, Adam Silver obviously has been doing a lot of work and still has work to do. But I do think that we're coming into an age where the entire international pool is really taking it by storm in the NBA, because you're watching Victor Wembanyama, you're watching Jokic and Luka Doncic, and even with Giannis. But to me, this is why I feel that Adam Silver doesn't want dynasties. And I understand that. You want to give it to where it's a balanced platform where other teams like Charlotte, Orlando, and even Indiana. And look, the whole tanking deal, I don't get it. I mean, to me, it's like if you want to get that extra piece, because Indiana's going to get a draft pick, and in the end, when Tyrese Halliburton comes back healthy, that'll be a completely different team. And when I look at this, we have to find a balance in this, because I do believe that with college basketball, this is why they need to build a relationship as strong as the NFL and college football, because I'm getting day one starters immediately come Thursday. But to me, I think this puppy 3-4 years, as because of the NIL, college players are starting to come back to college, and they're becoming much more seasoned. It's just you can't just expect the steak to be, very seasoned and just flavorful and tasteful right away in 5 minutes. It doesn't work that way. To me, I'm I want to make sure it's seared to perfection. I got the flavor. I got all of that. And that's where I look at these teams to when they address this in the draft. These kids are going to very much be much more mentally matured than what we had gotten in the last few years, but be more NBA prepared and ready to where these picks will matter. Because in the end, you're kind of trading them away as assets to go and get your star player. But I think 3-4 years from now, that model may change. And then that's where the NBA, hopefully if they get this right, this will be a much more entertaining, and it will have more of a better upscale the next few years.
I think truth be told, it starts with the fundamentals of the game. Me playing 14 years overseas and seeing how they start at a very, very young age as far as fundamentals of the game, That's where it starts at. And here in America, we're actually doing more playing than practicing. So those guys over there, I think that some of those guys who coming out of college or such, or might be in college, maybe they should try their talents overseas so they can get the fundamentals and come back. That way they are seasoned and ready for this type of game. Because if you see Shea Gilders, he's from Canada. Luka Doncic, he's from Slovenia. Nikola Jokic, he's from Serbia. Like all the top players in the NBA coming from overseas, so they're coming through these programs of learning and fundamentals, and now they contributing to the NBA game, and it's going to be dominated. And Giannis as well. You know what I mean? Like you got to see all the guys who are the top pick and names in the NBA are from overseas because they came through a system of fundamentals and taught how to play the game. Right. We're not teaching our players here. We're just using athletic ability. Of course, if you can jump over the gym, but if I give you a pump fake and Joker jumping this high off the ground and still laying up over it, what's your jumping ability for? You know what I mean? So it's just the fundamentals of the game. We have to recycle what we have and bring those talents that we do have and put them through fundamentally challenged things. And that's, it'll make it more entertaining, I think, because when I played overseas, it was fun. The fans, the crowd was into it every game. You might have had some guys who might never played anywhere overseas or in America. But over there, they're superstars because they know the fundamentals of the game. They know how to take that extra step. They know how to do them Manu Ginobili moves. You get what I mean? So it's all fundamentals, man.
Yeah, and the funny thing is and you bring up a great point, because at the end of the day, like I look at a lot of our domestic players and I'm like, why can't we be better than this? Like fix the fundamentals. And in the end, let's build a relationship. I want to know these guys when they're up in college. I mean, when you look at the NIL, like at least when they come into the draft, I'm like, okay, I knew he played for Duke. I knew he played for Villanova, because these guys are building themselves for the fundamentals, and they're going to be highly, highly talented by the time they come to the NBA.
Oh, for sure.
Final question here for you, because we know at the NBA playoffs, I mean, in the end, Boston looks to be the unbelievable team. I mean, Jason Tatum to come back in an injury and Jaylen Brown playing as he is. I think that it's clear they may run the tables in the Eastern Conference, but there are a couple of teams that are surprising. So when you look at this, I mean, what does it take? What does it truthfully take to hoist the trophy? Because we know it's all about smart scheme play, smart shot opportunities, drive and destroy the perimeter, but at the same time, nail those free throws when you're at the line, because it's important, because those are a lot of your point deficits. So what does that got to take? Because I think this playoff, it could be interesting, but there could be some sneaky teams that may come up and really turn the tables here.
Oh, it's just a complete team. Like Boston has a complete team. They got from point 1 to 5. They have all the pieces, and they've been there before, so they're aged and they're like Kobe beef. You know what I mean? It's the best. So, and like San Antonio, I think it's going to be between San Antonio and Boston. Truth be told,
I like that.
Just because it's just seasoned guys. You got Pop hanging around practice all day long. Fundamentals are back to the fundamentals. We're going back to Tim Duncan being involved in practice and showing San Antonio this winning mentality. In Boston, they already have the winning mentality from the front office, from Brad Stevens to Sam Cassell. He's a Baltimore guy. I love my guy. And I look forward to seeing Boston and San Antonio just because of the fundamentals that they're being taught. And those teams are known to have this fundamental sound. You know what I mean? As far as like we love the up and down slam dunks, alley oops, and throwing from half court and the long shots and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, you have to win the best of 7 series.
Absolutely.
You can't do it all game. You know what I mean? Steph Curry is out of the system right now. He's probably the only person that can shoot consistently to keep you in a game. The rest of these guys is up and down. So you have to get help from your number 1 player to your 5 player. Some games, the 1 and 2 is going to have to take care of the, Jason Tatum's and Brown's going to have to take over the game. Then you're going to have what's the big kid for Boston? Petto. I don't remember his name, but he's actually going to come in and take over a game. You know what I mean? Especially in the Eastern Conference. But in San Antonio, same thing. You have Stephen Castle, you have Dylan Harpers, you have Wemby's, you have Vassals, you have De'Aaron Foxes, you have guys that know how to play basketball. and they've been taught by great coaches as well coming through college. So it's going to be an interesting story, but I think those two are going to be in the finals. But I hope Denver is, because I love Joker. Joker is my guy. I got to work with him. I got to play with him. Got to play against him. So it's just one of those things. Like he's a tough match.
All right, I'm cracking. You know what? I'll turn on the television. You gave me a reason now to just go up and just watch the games. You know what? Yeah. You know what? I'm all for it. And hey,
stay injury free. Like that's as long as whoever stay injury free, they're gonna be on their way.
You know what? You know what though? I mean, I've never been to an NBA game. I'll be honest with you. I've been to an Olympic game, but I've never been to an NBA game, and I live here in Denver. Okay, one of these days, I definitely got to hit up Ball Arena. We definitely got to see Jokic up there.
Oh man, I'll get you in there. Don't worry about it. Give me a call. I'll get you in there.
Love it, man. Corsley, enjoy the playoffs, man. This is going to be a lot of fun, and we'll see who comes out on the other side worthy of the NBA Finals.
All right, big dog. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Love it. Now I feel energized.